What is up, guys? My name is Logan Tremellen, and this is the Defying Odds podcast. This is a little bit interesting. This is my first guest on the new restart of the podcast, but it's funny because his name's Noah Mickelson. We were best friends. We have been best friends for, I don't know, 8,
couple years,
9, a long time.
Yeah.
Definitely my longest friend in life. Now he moved to Pennsylvania, and now he works for me full time. So it's very interesting. And we're going to get a little bit into him, why he decided to move here, why he thought it was a good idea to start working for me, working together as a team, not necessarily just for me. And so without further ado, here is Noah. Bam. So that's it.
Shabba dabba ding dong.
That was beautiful.
Thanks. That was a good intro. Except
All
I
right.
didn't know where to look.
Well, I was going to be. It's on that camera.
Go.
You're good. You won't be in that.
Perfect.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
Cool. That was the intro.
Aye.
Just so everybody knows, Noah's official new title is Director of Motorsports.
Yep.
So it sounds pretty
Real shit.
official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So let's start with how we met.
Well, I guess we met so we met actually probably in, I would say, Texas.
I guess, yeah.
If I had to,
First race of whatever year this was.
Yeah, and we really didn't talk to each other that much, or at all, actually. And then Unadilla came around, and for some reason, I just wanted some beef with Logan. So I asked him, "Hey, you trying to go?" You know. Next thing you know, we're like best friends. Like fucking 5 minutes later.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we were little kids, so it didn't take
really-
much.
Yeah, it was really quick.
So, I mean, we were going to the same races for then pretty much half the season. And just for perspective for people who have no idea what we're talking about, we're talking about the ATV motocross racing series. So we both actually, at this time, I didn't race. You raced, but my brother was on the same team as you.
You raced, just not.
I just
not
practiced
for
then.
the team.
This year, I didn't even race.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you raced beforehand.
Like
on the
that,
300.
but not this. I never raced a 300.
Oh, you just practiced it.
Yeah,
I remember seeing you on a 300.
Yeah.
That fucking white and with
I
the blue
passed
hood.
you.
Yeah, shit is so
I
funny.
pointed past.
I don't remember you passing me.
So yeah, we were going to the same races. We probably went to 5, 6 different events, and we just kind of never talked to each other. And then one day he just walked by me when we were sitting under the tent because it was like an official race team sponsored by Pepsi, like whole 9 yards. And he just looked at me. He said, "You want to go?" And I was like, "You want to go to the store?" And
You had to get lemonade.
yeah, so then we joked about getting on a little pit 4-wheeler and going to the store to get lemonade, and that's how it started.
Just hung out ever since.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's pretty sick. Cool story.
So that's how we met. It's
And
pretty
then,
pretty simple. Then just from there, we've stayed. He lived in Minnesota at the time. I lived in Pennsylvania, so we played video games together. We saw each other at all the races,
Yep.
and it was funny because we would go months without seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then when we saw each other, it was just like,
Nothing
"Hey, dude."
ever happened.
Actually, we wouldn't even say "hey." We would just like resume
Just
our conversation
just
as
instantly
if we
back
never
up.
left. So that was always funny. And then you ended up. I guess this is a lot further down the road. I'm trying to think of
like in between races and stuff, I'd go over to his house. He'd come over to mine, stay for like weeks at a time and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we hung out a lot, even though we were halfway across the country.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, it was funny. Very, just different relationship. You don't hear
Yeah.
that often.
No, ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. And now we're here working.
So go a little bit into your racing career. So we met on the same team. It was called Root River Racing.
Root River Racing, yeah. So I started, I was there for the beginning of Root River Racing. So my dad, Rich, and a bunch of other like local buddies, and we had a little shop that we worked on all our 4-wheelers because it was just like a hobby at the time. And we decided we wanted to make a new team. So the river right next to the shop was Root River, so Root River Racing. And then we just started going to local races, and the team just grew and grew and grew. I mean, and then started to go to the nationals where Logan and his brother were. And I was not even close to being fast enough to be at the nationals. Like, it was scary going. So Rich allowed us to go down to Texas and train. That helped a lot. And then I started doing really well at the nationals, and then my career kind of like took off from that, I guess. Few years later, was on a Honda team. Then I feel like I'm missing a lot, but there's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
racing,
racing.
the years were competitive. What you're missing is the fact that you won how many national championships?
Oh yeah, so I've got, was it 5 national championships in motocross, and then I got a GNCC national championship, which was dope.
And when he says he was on the Honda team, he means the Honda. It was a factory Honda racing team sponsored by factory Honda. So he's kind of throwing it under the radar like it's the Honda team, but it was a pretty big deal.
It was backed by factory Honda, which was really cool, and they gave us a bunch of stuff. Like, it was insane to see like the kind of stuff that factory riders and vehicles get to, the what am I trying to say? The attention they get is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, in our sport, which isn't a massive sport, but this was, arguably the best ride you could possibly have.
Right, absolutely. At least for the time it was.
Yeah, things have definitely changed.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're also a 2-time world champion in some people's eyes.
Yes, I am. I am a 2-time world champion. There's a little race in Wisconsin that was deemed the world championship. So obviously I got to put that on the record that I'm a 2-time world champion. I think the first year I won it, I was 16 years old. Wasn't old enough to ride without my parents there. But Noah Olson got it done, which was really cool.
Which is not his actual real last name. He had somebody else signed for him, kind of against the rules, but he got it done.
I got the money and the gun, so that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. So.
And then at the end of your racing career, you were pro for how many years? Was it just one?
Just 1 year. Yeah.
Just 1 year. So he did go pro, top of the sport.
Yeah, it was. It's not the same as having fun.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No. There's definitely a lot of pressure in it.
Yeah.
So after you retired from the pro scene, you raced for a few years just for fun. Was it just 1 year?
Yeah, it was just 1 year on a bone stock YFC 450.
Yeah, just went out there for fun. And this is when we started talking. I was still going to the races at this time. I think this is my third year. This is my third year running the action sports video production by myself. And when I was going, he was staying with a great family, like great friends and great family.
Olsons, the same ones
Olsons,
that...
Yeah, exactly. The same people who signed for him at the World Championship race.
So I've been with them for a while.
And I didn't know him that well. I knew Grant a little bit. And then I came and you were like, just stay with us. And I forget how it actually started, but then I started staying with you guys and staying in the same RV. So he was going to the races just to ride, have fun. I was going to the races to film every single day. And it just kind of naturally started coming up like, you should help me. You should help me tomorrow. And then at the last race this was 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, whatever.
Loretta's.
Yeah, at the last race, I brought an extra camera and just gave it to you. I was like, go film. And what do you think? Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. And it was different because it was obviously in between, me riding and stuff like that and watching and stuff. So I wasn't like fully into the whole camera shooting thing, but I mean, it was fun and it got me in, like, kind of put my foot in the door for the media type stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, the whole goal of it was I don't think I used any of the footage, but it wasn't your fault. I had the settings wrong on the camera, so it just looked like trash. It wasn't your fault.
No.
So I just wanted to like see if you actually liked it, because obviously we were talking like you should work for me, and it started from like just a small idea, and we just slowly kind of built on it. And at that point, it was way over. Like at that point, if you're like, you need to pay me salary, I would have been like, there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
So it was just something that we kept on building on. And as I saw that you liked it and you were into it and you were more serious about it, I kind of became more serious and kind of made it more of a reality. So we head into the off season after that race where I know you were interested in filming. And what did we leave it at? Did I say like, you're going to work for me next year? Yeah, exactly.
Well, we had plans to go to a boat race because that's another way you wanted to kind of get me used to shooting. So we did that. And then on the way back, I think we just kind of talked about it and decided that, when was that? That was in November.
Yeah, November, December.
So
just last year.
Yeah. So the following year in March.
Yep.
It was actually February that I decided, I think, that I wanted to move.
Finally, yeah.
I'm like, okay, so after this month, I'm going to see what work was like, because I was working in a warehouse at the time. See what work was like, and it was just boring. Wasn't fun.
I think that was the biggest thing on my point of view, because we would, at this time, played video games, and I literally only played games just so I could talk to you.
Right.
And I'm like, he's my best friend. He lives halfway across the country. This is literally how we just connect.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to get on games. And just every night we'd get on games. And I'm like, how's your day? Or just like we randomly, talk about life.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just tell that you were not happy. You weren't getting paid a lot.
Yeah.
And you were just doing something that was boring and wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So
just
I'm like
wasting time. Basically.
Exactly. And you saw what I was doing. And I think I remember I told you one time how much revenue I did in a year. And I saw your.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, all right.
After that, you like looked at me differently. I noted from the second I told you. It was funny. That was a bit switch. But I mean, you're not getting paid a lot. You weren't getting paid a lot, and I was like, I could easily replicate that. And it just so happened that when I fully committed to bringing you on, within weeks, I had somebody reach out to me who needed work that aligned with what you like, and it was editing that you can. I mean, pretty easily do consistently every single week, and that just literally pretty much just replaced your salary by
just that one thing.
Exactly. One client that I didn't even have to find. They came to me.
That's nuts if you think about it.
It just happened.
Yeah.
It was weird. So yeah, I just felt like I had to do something, and even now I'm like, part of me wants to push you and make you do so much more, but at the same time I'm like, he has a lot more freedom now than he's had before.
And I've also only been editing videos for, what has it been, like 6, 7, 8 months maybe?
Since
not very long.
March, not long.
And I feel like I'm not like terrible at it, and I'm not like slow at it. So, it
took me 5 years to get where I'm at now. So I was just, along this past 8 months, I've just been trying to figure out what I can tell you that won't annoy you, because it's super common sense and you probably already know it.
Yeah.
But 2, make sure that you tell things that'll speed up your process.
Right. Yeah, that's the main thing.
It's hard because sometimes I'll tell you something, you're like, no obviously, and I'm like, well, I didn't know. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. That happens.
Yeah, happens pretty often.
It does.
So sometimes I keep my mouth shut. Other times I tell them. And then there's some things where you find out, you're like, I didn't know that. It would save me so much time. I'm like, could have told you that last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of that. Let's go into, if people who know my personal story, I'm sure they've heard about my first surgery. It was at High Point Raceway. I got an ATV accident, punctured my intestine, went to the hospital. Noah also, we ended up getting in a play fight earlier that day.
Yeah, it was dope.
And then he also went to the hospital like maybe 30 minutes, an hour before I did. So explain this from your point of view.
Well, so me and him were just goofing off, I obviously threw him on the ground. Anyways,
I knocked you
so
down.
and then it was probably like 30 minutes after that, I had a race. I had to go up. I'm like, all right, I was really feeling good this year. I think I won every single moto before this race, and there was just one jump that I don't know, man. Like, I even hit it in practice. Like, it literally wasn't a bad jump, wasn't scary, nothing. Just came up a little short first lap in the moto, and I don't know. It hurt a lot. I didn't feel anything. It just hurt a lot once my adrenaline calmed down and everything. I got put on a stretcher and then got hauled to the hospital in an ambulance. And the ambulance ride was fun. It went off the road and stuff too. That was sick. But and then once I got woken up from my anesthesia, when they popped my hip back in and everything, I was told that Logan was in the hospital too. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And before I got released, I think it was like 2 days after I broke my hip, and it was on the Monday, I got to go see Logan, and God, that was miserable. I couldn't even talk, dude. Like, literally, I looked at you and I was just like,
at this time I was in a coma. That coma
bad.
That I was in for 9 days. He was already in the hospital. He got there right before me. So that was pretty funny. We fought earlier in the day. I watched you crash. And I guess I was just jealous. I just wanted to go to the hospital too. So I crashed while I went to the hospital and got put in a coma.
Yeah, it was dope. It was a great weekend.
It was a great,
super eventful.
Fantastic.
Incredibly eventful.
Yeah, so that's a little.
I mean, technically, it saved your life.
Yeah, and technically, I still put you in the hospital from tripping you. Yeah, I knocked you over. You didn't see my leg there, but I put my leg in front of you and then pushed you over.
It was like a two-stage wrestling.
Yeah, I knocked you over in 2 stages.
No,
all right, that's enough of that part.
Anyways,
all right,
so
next, let's go into the move. So we talked a little bit about how I met, our whole story, how we both crashed and almost died.
Yep.
Let's go into the move. So we just mentioned that you moved here.
Yes.
I guess we talked a little bit about this. But leading up to, let's say, the beginning of this year, we did that event last year where in November, we both went to Tony Robbins. I took you to a Tony Robbins event. You attended. I volunteered. Then after that, we stayed in Florida for a week and we filmed a boat race. And this was just another test just to make sure that you actually liked filmmaking, because it was completely different from what you were doing before.
Right.
But I knew that you didn't like what you did before, and you had to work 40 hours a week.
Yep.
Where now I'm like, if I can teach, if he likes using a camera, likes editing enough, then I can give him rather a more flexible schedule or just give him more opportunity. So that's still what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So we went to Florida. You seemed to like it. We talked about it on the way home. And then what? I went back home for months. And did you even think about moving here until February?
I mean, it was always in the back of my mind, because I think we had talked about it, however long before it was. So, I mean, it was in my mind. I'm not good with quitting.
Yeah.
I had a hard time going up to the boss and be like, hey, dude, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this shit no more. But no, it went really well. Yeah, I think I just because I kept telling my parents about it. I'm like, I need to quit. Like, it was before even I think you asked me to work. I told them, I'm like, I need to quit. Like, this sucks. Because I was doing HVAC, so I'd get the duct board, like the fiberglass all over me, and it was not fun. And so yeah, once I quit that, I think I was out of a job for a week, and then Logan came back down to my house, swooped me up, and we fucking
went to Florida for the first race.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Is that how it happened? Did we go to Florida and then on the way back, I drove up to your house with all my stuff?
I think so.
I think that is how it went.
Yeah, because I had my Nevada trip.
Yep. So we went to Florida, came back. I packed all my stuff while you were in Arizona riding a bicycle.
Yep.
And then when you got back, we left.
Yeah.
Came back to
then you moved here,
Pennsylvania, which was cool.
Yeah.
So roads suck.
Leading up to the first race of the year, that's when it kind of got set in stone. Like, hey, starting March. I don't know how. At this time, I didn't have a client that I now really helps me pay you.
Yep.
But I was like, ATV, once the ATV season comes, I have a lot more money, because around this time I didn't have any commercial clients on the side. I was strictly ATV action sports video production. So I was like, during that time of the year, I can totally afford to pay you. After that, that's 6 months from now. I'll figure it out then. Which now we're still doing great. So I made that commitment. I was like, okay, starting March, that's when you could start. And then it just worked out. So what did your parents think?
They were very supportive. They didn't care. My dad was like, you know what? It's probably good that you're leaving that job, because there's no way you're going any further in that job.
And even the owner of the company told you.
Yep, owner of the company said, yeah, if I was him, I would leave, because this job sucks. And I mean, there's not a lot of growing for him. So, which was kind of funny that the owner said that.
Yeah.
He's the dude that did own the race team that I was on.
Yeah, the Honda team.
Yeah, so the race team, once I quit racing, I basically worked for him, his construction side. And so, yeah, he told me to leave and work for Logan. So that's cool. So it worked out. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
My parents are happy. Talk to them every once in a while. Not as much as I should.
Parker's probably the most upset.
Yeah, Parker. Yeah, he really liked Minecraft. He really wanted to play that. But no, it's not bad. Not a far trip back down home.
Yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
It's going good.
You've been here for 8 months. Yes. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm liking it. It's cold now. Not a big fan of that.
It's starting to get cold. I don't like it either.
It's going good. I'm enjoying it. I'm starting to get more comfortable working on a computer all day.
Yeah.
It's a bit change.
I don't even like it. Yeah. That's why I like having days where one day I'll shoot all day and the next day I'll edit all day. I like having that contrast.
Diversity.
If it was just on the computer,
no,
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard sitting there all day. I have to work like 2 hours, hour and a half, get up, walk around, jump on our little mini trampoline for a little bit.
Yeah, and right now, literally this time of year, all you have to do is edit.
You're right.
We don't have any.
Can't go out and shoot.
Yeah, not yet.
ATVs and stuff.
Oh, well, not ATVs, but I can help you on other shoots. That'll get your refreshing my brain. Like earlier, I got sick of editing, so I just started setting up for this podcast.
Oh,
it's a good contrast.
I thought you were talking about something else.
Nope.
All right.
All right.
What else can we talk about? Oh, I've been hitting the gym.
Oh,
with Logan. That's been really fun.
How much of you working out with me, because before this you never worked out
Nah,
consistently.
never.
How much of you being able to work out with me was a factor in your decision moving
Well,
here?
so it was probably like an 80-20%. Like
80% working out,
yeah,
20% working.
Correct. Yeah, I really like racing. I had no desire to work out because riding was a workout
Yeah.
to me, at least.
Mhm.
Like, you just ride a bunch, you don't need to work out. So once I got done racing, I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna do now? So I like started running and stuff, and then once I moved up, I wanted to actually work out, but I just didn't know how. And Logan over here, like a miniature Hulk Hogan. So
Can I get that in writing?
no,
Why?
you have it on video and
You're right. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna post that.
miniature Hulk.
You
Hogan.
saying I'm a miniature Hulk Hogan.
But yeah, dude, it's like it wasn't 80. It was probably like a 60-40. I feel like 60% like getting his good habits, working out, being healthy. Because I mean, before I moved here, it was Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell,
Job you didn't like.
job I didn't
Go
like,
home. Video games
not
all
do a
night.
lot. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
so-
pretty much. I used to play games just to talk to you, but I'm pretty much the complete opposite.
Yeah.
At this time,
Yeah.
all last year I was going to bed at 8, waking up at 4:30, working out
Yeah,
first thing in the
fuck that.
morning.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah, there was a very big contrast. And now we kind of evened out. I'm a little bit more chill and relaxed on my schedule and work out easier on my body, but still seeing awesome progress. And you also have, better habits, because now we have to be here in the
Right,
studio in the
exactly.
morning every day. We are eating a lot cleaner.
Oh,
We
okay.
are working out every
Okay,
single
just,
day.
This is for the record. My habits of waking up and stuff weren't bad. Back
Oh,
home.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I still
you
had
had
to,
to
I
get
still
up
had
for
to
the
wake up
job.
at 7
You're right,
o'clock
you're
to
right,
be
you're
there at 8.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, eating habits, a big one. And yeah, I don't know what else.
So
Guess
what's your
that's it.
plan? Do you have a plan?
Yeah, my plan is to make a lot of money and
I can't put that in.
why?
Well,
Nah. My plan. I mean, I don't really have a plan. I just go with the flow. I like where we're going.
cool.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Wherever this wave takes us, I'm ready for it, I suppose.
That's easy enough.
Yeah. I don't really have.
You don't need a plan.
Nah. I don't know. I mean, like, realistically, I've never had a plan in my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Just go with the flow, baby. It seems to be
Yeah.
working out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you're here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you like Pennsylvania, but you're here.
I mean, it's,
Yeah. It's not forever.
it's a house, so I can live in that.
Exactly.
It's really it's
Cheap
it.
rent.
Yeah.
Even I constantly go back and forth. Like, do I want my own place, or do I just want to keep living with cheap rent for the next?
Cheap rent's good. I
It's
would like
nice.
cheap rent's nice.
I mean,
but
I'm
at
never
the
there.
Same time, there's a lot of things I would pay for there to be different. That was kind of a hard sentence to understand. There's a lot of things I would pay to have different
Yeah.
at the house.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Like, even there's just something we're not. It doesn't really make sense where we're at. Like, if we
No.
move our house to the north of the city,
Yeah, it'd make
Like,
way more sense.
closer to the office, closer to the gym, closer to every single place we ever drive ever.
Yeah, and and Dylan, he's also
Yeah,
on the
he's
north
also
side.
closer to both of his jobs,
Yeah,
closer
so-
to everything we ever go to. Yeah, I mean, there's a golf course down there that we like, but besides that,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
That
should
golf
probably
course
talk to
is
Dylan
nice.
about this. But hey, Dylan, because we've always talked about this. I don't think we
Never
ever
asked
talked to Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah, you're right.
All right, so I guess the only other thing that I have in mind is your day to day right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just editing
Correct. Editing and working out.
and working out. Yeah, and
Big part of
obviously.
my life.
So I've been trying to think of whatever, because for me, I'm like, I definitely am not a micromanager. I'm sure you know that, just because like I could care less if you're even here some days.
Yeah.
As long as the work's getting done, but at the same time, it's I don't care about being strict, but at the same time, I want to make sure that you have enough workload and enough opportunity.
Yeah, well, I'm not just wasting time.
So exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
So I guess I'm just curious from your perspective, like, do you like the workload now? Do you want more workload? We just talked about this recently where I kind of changed how I show you our projects that we have
Yeah.
in the backlog. So then you could see like, okay, if I get this much work done, I can make more in a week. And I understand that it's not necessarily easy right now because the clients that we have now are kind of not, not super high paying,
Right,
where the clients we're starting to take on, the clients I'm getting now, they are much bigger opportunities where you can get paid,
Mm-hmm.
a lot more in a week. So I'm just curious from your point of view, like, I don't know what really the question is. It's more of a conversation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I like it? The way that we're doing it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's nice, but it's just really hectic right now. That probably wasn't good. It's just really hectic right now with, me going to back home for 3 weeks and
this
stuff.
month is going to
Yeah.
be insane.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I mean, I like the idea of it. I like the videos I do now. They're not like hard. It
Yeah.
probably takes me a whole day to do one video.
And you have 3 a week.
3 a week, right? And there's 5 days in a work week.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely more load that I could do. There's definitely more I could take on. Yeah. Yeah, now that I'm more comfortable.
And you want to.
Yes. Now that I'm more comfortable with like editing and like understanding
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, yeah, it'd be easier and I'd be more comfortable taking more on.
Yeah.
But right away was very overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Between the ATV and then the RPM videos.
Yeah.
And
that's another thing where this coming year, so I'm getting a lot more into commercial stuff. We talked about this.
Mhm.
And I plan on leaning on you more for the motorsport stuff. Like, I still plan on going to film, but I want you to take more of the post-production side. So that time of year, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
Exactly.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Probably.
So part of me right now, like, wants to make sure that your schedules, at least you have the potential to fill your schedule if you want to. Obviously, I don't want to make you work more if you don't want to. Whoa, what are you doing? But I want to give you the potential to fill your schedule and get paid more. I want to make it so if you work more, you're not just putting more money in the business pocket. You actually can put more money in your own pocket. But when it comes to race season, then I know that you're not going to have any, at least I don't think you're going to have any other time outside of, editing ATV motocross, traveling for ATV motocross, and editing for the one client you do now. That's going to be a lot. And that alone will make you get paid. That I can guarantee you during that busy season, if you're taking over all the editing, which obviously it's going to be a process.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think we do 30, 40
it's a lot.
videos a weekend. I mean, it was taking me all week just by myself. So we're going to have to figure out how to get it done and still keep all of our client work up now on top of me taking on more commercial clients.
Charge more for the videos.
That's what I'm doing for commercial stuff.
I mean, realistically, you just charge more, we'll get less videos and probably more money.
Yeah, I just feel bad because I feel like we're already charging a lot.
Fuck them. Nah, I'm just kidding.
We'll see.
But for real though,
I'm not motivated by money, but at the same time, I understand that what we're doing we could charge so much for it.
Yeah.
I mean, commercial clients, we charge for anybody in the ATV motocross scene listening. Commercial clients, we make the same video, pretty much same workload as ATV video, and we charge 10 times the price. Mm-hmm. So us going to the ATV races, we're like, we have to do a lot, or else it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love the ATV motocross races. I want to help out as much as we can. We have 150,000 combined followers on social media, so we can't just leave. I have zero intentions of just leaving. And obviously, it's still great, income. It's kept the doors open when I didn't have any other clients. But yeah, I mean, that's just something we're gonna keep on juggling with, and we'll figure out next year.
Yeah,
As your director of motorsports, I guess it's your job to figure it out.
It is my call, isn't it?
You're the director now, dude.
We're ramping the prices up,
right.
double.
Whoa.
No, I'm just kidding. No, not really. No, but for real though, like if you did charge, not double, but maybe like half on top of what you charge now.
Give everybody
half of on top of
off.
what you charge now.
Yeah.
So like
150%.
Yeah. So like then, the people that don't necessarily need a video are gonna not get one, and then the people that want one can get one, and then you can still have less time consuming editing packages. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I know in business, honestly, the more you raise your prices, the actual more demand you get.
Yeah.
It's very contradictory, but that's in business, where in ATV motocross, the niche is smaller. We're already, we can't really take on any more clients because we're doing so much already.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. It's probably 80 hours a week within in one event. Like it's a lot of work, and
It's
that's
so
between
fucked
two
up.
of us
Right,
working
yeah.
that much. Yeah,
I mean, would you buy a fucking $100 helmet or a $400 helmet?
bam, $400 helmet, but you don't have to
Exactly.
buy another one every single weekend.
Well, you do if you fucking suck.
You're right. If you crash a lot,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, dude. You want to play rock, paper, scissors real quick?
That's probably good, right?
On shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I would.
All right. I think that's a good.
All right, and this
that
was
a
the
good talk.
Defying Odds podcast.
You gotta look at this camera when you do it.
And this was the Defying Odds podcast. It is anywhere you can find a podcast: YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple Music, whatever else you listen for podcasts. So thank you guys very much.